What parallels exist in promoting and publicizing movies and politicians?
You know, publicity is a fascinating point on the public relations or communications spectrum. If you think about it, I think at one end you have what often people call public information officer, who are kind of reactive press, and on the other end, a publicist, proactive, somebody who's constantly pushing news stories and trying to make things happen and putting on events. For a short time I worked doing movie public relations, and it was the mid-90s, and I had just gotten out of college, and I was trying to make a name for myself working at film conferences and taking films to different film festivals. And I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Oftentimes it would mean putting on a little event, some kind of spectacular, something that drew eyes to it a little bit more than the other films did. The innovative campaign, for instance. So then I got into politics and into public service. And I thought, boy, what am I going to do this week? Because we're working on zoning or some sort of a development issue, maybe an economic agreement, but nothing too terribly exciting or fascinating, you know, in terms of the community really, you know, being hooked. And so I'd start to look for the little things. We had a little bit of a tragedy that happened when the tsunami hit the Southeast Asia coastline and African coastline. And so we went down to a spot downtown, and we had a big drive-through fundraising opportunity with the mayor and with some radio DJs. And even though it's an unfortunate topic, we used our celebrity status to help raise money. On the lighter side, the mayor and other elected officials that I work with go down to Barton Springs, a nearby water swimming hole, and on New Year's Day started to do sort of a polar bear plunge into Barton Springs. And it's become quite the phenomenon. The press comes down and they watch it, and it's a whole big thing where all these elected officials from Austin jump into Barton Springs, even though it's only 70 degrees, because we're in Austin, Texas. At its coldest, maybe it's 56. But you know, when they do that in the Northeast, it's a big deal, because it's polar bears, and they're jumping into, you know, some cold body of water. In Austin, it's a constant 67-degree spring-fed body of water. But the press still comes out, and they make a whole big thing out of it. And for one day, even though it might be a little bit lighthearted, and they are your elected officials, and they have a full-time important job, I think for one day the community feels a little bit better because they're seeing something fun.